everybody, welcome to BrickVault. My name's Jack. Today we've got a Star Wars set. This is Eclipsed Fighter. Going through the set logistics, it is rated for ages 8 to 12. It is set number 75145 and it has 363 pieces. Included are two minifigs. We've got Dengar and Nare. Dengar seems to come with this short, fat speeder, and Nare with the larger Eclipse Fighter. Alright, it's a pretty small set. Let's get it open and built. Okay, I am pleasantly surprised with this Eclipse Fighter, but as per usual, let's get started with the minifigs. First, let's take a look at Dengar. I like the very detailed printing for his torso piece and back. Kinda wish there was some printing on his legs, and he's got a decent enough print for his face. I like the wrap around his head. I think I most recently saw that piece on the Clumsy Guy from Collectible Minifig Series 15, but I think the true way to compare Dengar is to show him next to the other two. Well, there maybe isn't that much to compare him to with the early Dengar, so let's just knock him out. So here he is next to the Dengar from the Ultimate Collector Series Star Destroyer. There's not too much different between these guys. I'd say the new Dengar with the white torso piece is a slightly more accurate version, but I don't really like the cleanness of the print as much as the one from the Ultimate Collector Series. The faces are different, and I think they're both actually pretty decent prints, so I don't lean too far in either direction there. And technically they switched out some of the gray and metallic pieces that make up their pack, but there's no real difference there. I think that's got everything to do with what kind of small parts are being molded for this production year. Either way, he's a decent minifig. Would have liked leg printing, but I guess technically he is a little bit more accurate to the movie. Alright, and here is Nare. And I like this minifig. She has two looks to her. Here she is with just her robes. The printing is great all around the body, no qualms there. And I kind of like the metal plating on the legs. She has a nice unique face print. When you look closer, you can see all of the white markings subtly printed on. Now here she is with her Kate Hood lightsaber and her alternate battle expression. Definitely a much more intimidating character now, and I really enjoy the prints for both of her faces. She joins the still quite small group of characters that has a curved lightsaber blade. And let's move on to the Eclipse Fighter. From the pictures on the box, I gotta say I wasn't really too into this ship, but now that I've got it in front of me, I'm seeing a lot more nice qualities. It's got a very strong Technic skeleton, which is hidden pretty well for the most part, and it allows for this nice little morph here for when it needs to go into attack position. The ship looks pretty good in both modes, but what I like about the ship's attack position is that it can only actually attack once it's in this position. When you push the nose forward and the wings fold back, the front of the ship actually splits apart, and that's what allows the spring-loaded shots to fire. The X-Wing fighter technically has an attack position, but as a toy the spring-loaded shots can fire whenever you want. I really appreciate that this ship morphing back and forth somewhat acts as a safety. Anyways, the design of the ship itself has some pretty nice sleek looking angles, mixed in with some harsh corners. I particularly like the build for the thrusters on either end of the wing, and the whole shape of the back of the ship. These flaps on the side have a little bit of posability, as well as these smaller ones on the back that point towards the thrusters. This whole area of the ship works really well. And I gotta say, the last thing I noticed is that the cockpit is very simple. There's no pieces to show any sort of controls. Even though the minifig leans pretty much all the way back in order to fit in the cockpit, I feel like there should have been some sort of piece or sticker to show how the ship is operated. Oh yeah, one last detail. Once the ship is in attack mode, there's a nice little print that you can see on either end of the wing. It's a great little design. It seems very, very versatile. Alright, moving on to this little speeder that we have. You can see it was designed to somewhat resemble some of the other Star Wars speeders that we've seen in the past, but I gotta say this thing doesn't look too quick or exciting. I feel like this is what people would ride if they were learning how to ride a real speeder bike. This looks something more like a training vehicle. Anyways, I suppose the build itself isn't constructed poorly. The build for the handles is the same as other speeders, but I like the way they use those droid arms. And I do appreciate that Dengar has a place to put his blaster rifle. Nothing much more than that, this thing is pretty darn dinky. Alright, and here is the set altogether. We get 2 minifigs and 2 vehicles. I'm pretty happy with both the minifigs, but Nare has a surprising amount of nice detail. And I gotta say I wasn't expecting much from the Eclipsed Fighter coming into this set, but now that I've got it built I can say I'm pleasantly surprised with the way it looks and the way it functions. Alright, that is it for this episode. As always, I have left a link in the description below if you want to buy this set. Thanks a lot for watching, and if you enjoy our content, feel free to subscribe or hit that thumbs up button. Once again, this is BrickVault, my name's Jack, and we'll see you next time.